Weather's great, back in Lake Huron. Gonna be able to shoot a lot of these stand-ups outside. Love the weather, got out of my garage. Today, guess what? We're gonna learn about the star of the NHL, the hottest topic in the NHL right now, Jack Campbell from Port Huron, Michigan. He lives right across the lake, right there. And that's where I first met Jack, Port Huron, Michigan. Today we're gonna learn a lot about Jack. We're gonna talk about the things he does well. Do the Toronto Maple Leafs have a chance to win the Stanley Cup based on his goaltending? And I got a warning for the Leafs if they want to win the Stanley Cup. Just like every year, this is the year the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup. We jump on the bandwagon, we jump off the bandwagon. But something's changed. We've got actual real hope. We've got a team that's leading the NHL, we've got a team that can score goals, and we've got Jack Campbell, the legend, 10 wins in a row as of the recording of this video. Today I wanted to ask the question, can Jack lead the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Stanley Cup, which they haven't won since 1967, coincidentally, the same year this old guy was born. Let's talk about Jack for a second. As I mentioned in the intro, he's from Port Huron, Michigan, across the lake here. I had a chance to coach him when he was a kid. He's had lots of great goalie coaches. He had Mike Valley in Dallas and had Bill Ranford with the Los Angeles Kings. Jack has done great things in the opportunity he's been presented with the Maple Leafs. He's done everything they ask. He's the perfect backup. He's a teammate everybody loves. He's supportive, stick taps. This has been addressed ad nauseum on all the social media and on the different sports networks. But let's dive deeper into Jack and find out if he's the guy that's going to be able to carry Toronto Maple Leafs to the Stanley Cup. First thing, what does he need to do that? This is going to be a very compressed end of the regular season. This is going to be a very quick developing playoff, and you're going to have to be healthy. As I've said many times, your greatest ability is availability. And with Jack, that's sort of been one of his weaknesses. He has been hurt from time to time, and he's currently battling something with his lower body. And as I mentioned in an article with the Toronto Star this week, I think the Leafs have to have somebody in the pipeline besides Michael Hutchison, because if Freddie Anderson's not able to go to form that 1-2 tandem with Jack Campbell, it's going to be a tough little way to go to try to win the Stanley Cup. Ideally, both are healthy, and ideally, both of those two goalies will be playing, Freddy and Jack. But right now, Jack's sort of established first goaltender credentials. So I think he can do it. He's got great athleticism. He's learned to control his movements in the chaos. He's not as scrambly. He's not as much into the battle. We're going to tighten up some of the puck handling touches. We're going to be the type of goalie that consistently stays within himself. That could get the Toronto Maple Leafs the Stanley Cup if he can stay healthy. That's the question. Will Jack be healthy? Will Freddie Anderson be healthy?
All right, Josh, one thing we want to be great at is managing our limits. And basically, we don't want to let guys pass pucks through here. So in the traditional post hug, you can hug the post and hold your stick way out, showing a full range. Now the guy's got three options. He can sauce it over your stick, which is going to be a goal. He can pass it under your stick, which is going to be a goal. Or he can pass it outside your stick, and it's going to be likely a goal. The key is you don't want to show your limits. You don't want to have to make decisions. So the traditional way to play it is to put your heel there. He still has the option of saucer, but you might be able to get that with your stick or get your glove down there. And if he does pass it through tight to the toe of your stick, through the blue crease, you can get it with your stick. Right, and cut the pass. Now, an elite tip, and something that works very well, especially if the guy in the corner's got problems with pressure, is you can suck your stick completely out of that passing lane and bait him into passing it flat on the ice, and then take it away at the last second. Now that works good at preventing the saucer or the aerial pass. Now, as well, we can do the same thing from the RVH. So be careful in your RVH of showing a full range, because now they can put it under your blade. They can also put it over your blade, the nice little sauce, or they can put it outside your range, which you've already shown them. So you got to make sure when you're in this position, we suck that stick back where the heel's close so they don't have a gap. You can put it right here. It's kind of awkward. And then when he goes to pass it through there, you can cut it. And likewise, you can once in a while suck it out of the way by holding it like this encouraging them to flat ice pass it and then turning it at the last second to get it. Right. So when we're playing the post, we want to be very mindful of how we do that. Let's switch over and go to the other side. All right, so now that we're on the blocker side, we still have to protect our limits. And the limit's going to be this line here as well. So if he's going to pass it through the blue crease to the back door and we don't cut the pass, that's likely going to be a goal. So the first thing, as we talked about on the other side, don't set your stick up in a cutting pass position where you're showing him the heel and underneath it, because he can pass it underneath there. Also, he can sauce it over that stick, which is also going to be a goal. And if you want, on this side, it's much easier if he tries to sauce it to bring your glove down and to catch that aerial over the top. Next thing, if we show our limits by how far we can stick it out there, he knows if he passes it somewhere in tight to that stick, you're likely not going to be able to cut the pass because you've given away your limits. Here we can also do this properly from the post standing position by putting the heel by your toe and then cutting the pass as it comes through there. Now, again, on the RVH, we got a couple things we can do here. You can get down in the paddle poke position. As he passes it, you can put it out there and take it away. And if he goes to sauce it over your paddle in the RVH, you can get your glove involved. The key for me, though, is to make sure we protect our limits, we don't give away the reach we have with our stick, and we cut passes. If we can cut passes and prevent the guy from getting the puck on the back door, we're going to be much more successful.
As I mentioned earlier, today's episode is partially sponsored by Sham Sweatbands, and I got a great shipment for my buddy Jim Purcell. These are awesome. These things are for your helmets. They come in 3 different thicknesses, so they'll fit any helmet. They have what you call HGT technology, which is head gripping technology, and they can absorb up to 1/4 of a cup of water. So if you're one of those sweaty goalies like me, these are the best things ever. And Jim sent me a ton of these things, and you know, I think these are hope they don't soak up the lake.
Okay, Josh, another thing we wanted to talk about when we're in our butterfly is understanding the difference between stick involvement and stick discipline. Starting with stick involvement, let's watch how you make some good saves using proper technique on glove side low shots, flat on the ice. Here we go, glove side low, flat on the ice. Soft enough where you can get a stick on it. Right, 2 more like that. Last one. And obviously the benefit of getting stick involvement is we keep it off your pads. Your pads and stick should be like a parachute guy jumping out of a plane. Your main parachute is the one you rely upon, which is your stick. Your backup parachute is your pads. You only use it in emergency situations like screens, tips, etc. Now, go down in your butterfly for a second, Josh. One thing I like about your stick angles, when you move your stick over in the arc, you kept it slightly vertical and not tipped back too far, because that's going to cause the puck to ramp up into your own coverage. Ideally, when you get your stick involved, it should slightly tilt back like a 3-iron, ramping that puck up into the corner. Let's try a couple to the blocker side low. Same exact thing. Get your stick involved. One more. All right, I want to illustrate a couple of key faults when it comes to stick involvement. The first one is when the goalie tilts the stick back too far and ramps it up towards their own net. So let's go pretty firm, glove side low, but ramp it up too much. Same thing, a little harder. He's so good he can't do it really hard. Okay, last one. Josh is so good he puts him to the corner anyways, but reach out to here for a second with your stick. So to be clear, we don't want it tilting back like a lob wedge. We want it to be a 3-iron, gapped out in front of your knees a little bit, and you want to meet it out here. A stick save should not hit your stick and glove or anything else. It should be pristine stick only contact. Now another error we see is standing up on your feet again We're gonna go blocker side low, and here's the problem. A lot of times goalies are resistant to get stick involvement on blocker side shots. So pump some blocker side low and don't use your stick. And that's the problem. Because we don't have stick involvement, we lay up easy tap-ins. Try a couple more. And we'll always say, oh, it wasn't the goalie's fault. If there's no screen, if there's no traffic, you need to get stick involvement. Let's try one with good stick involvement here. And it keeps it away from me. And as we know, a great rebound when you're using your stick is good direction, maintain good velocity on the puck, and elevation. If the puck's in the guy's teeth, he can't score. So let's get your stick involved when we're in the butterfly where possible. All right, Josh, we just got done talking about stick involvement. Now, there's times when we want to do that, but because we move our stick over to get it involved with the puck, we cause a problem. We end up having some issues with pucks maybe getting through us. There's certain times in the game where we don't want to use stick involvement. We want to use stick involvement when it's a distance shot, we have reactionary time, and there's no traffic. Now, if you get a guy standing in front of you and he's tipping to the blocker side over here, or if he's tipping to the glove side over here, you don't want to be chasing that puck with your stick. So go down in the butterfly and extend your left leg like you're making a save. When you do stick involvement, when you should have done stick discipline, leave it out there like that, right here, you create this problem of chasing a puck that might end up going back through your 5-hole. So we use stick involvement to be pristine with the rebound control when there's no danger of traffic, tips, or deflection. We use stick discipline when there's traffic, tips, or deflection because we want to deny access. And the reason we don't want to allow pucks through us and why we have to deny access is because of what Mitch Korn says. What does Mitch Korn say?
Nothing through you, nothing underneath you.
Beauty. All right.